So this is a foreigner living in the Philippines, and we wanted to talk to May. This is lovely May. She is my niece-in-law. Yes, my niece-in-law, and she has a connection with an American man, and there is the hope that something more will come from that connection, that there are hopes and goals and prayers going out, and we want to talk to her about her feelings about how that is. So May, have someone, we won't tell his name, but we'll say that you have your American boyfriend, that you are communicating online. So how is that working for you?
So far we're actually doing good. We're doing great, and we constantly communicate with each other every day.
Every day?
Yeah. It's just the secret of going strong in long distance relationship. Always having communication.
Yes. So let's take it from the beginning. How did you meet?
We met through you, Terence. You've introduced me. You've introduced him to me because of some reason before. So at first, I was hesitant because I am actually close on the idea that I'm going to have a relationship with someone who is actually out of the country. So, but I accept the what do you call that?
Well, you accepted a friendship.
Yeah, just friendship. Both of us just thinking of just having this what we call friendship.
Well, in olden times, you would have been pen friends, but of course now it's different. Now
it's
you're
different
chatmates, and what we're all talking about the cyber world. So it's slightly different now, but it amounts to the same thing. So how did you start?
Now we started with just doing text chat on Facebook. The first thing is that he sent a message to me, and I was just curious if it would really come far, because the language is different, and I'm thinking of the thought that would it come so far, or would it what do you call that? Would that make sense if I would make friends with him?
Okay, so now we've reached the point where you're actually writing, and you've broken the ice. You've started to chat, and at one point, did you think that your feelings might be changing?
What?
Was there a point at which you started to think, I could really like this man?
As I started to know as I started to know his personality himself, so I've never realized that as we grow, starting to know each other, we also end up falling in love with each other. I was trying to ignore it from the first time, because I was just thinking maybe it's just an attachment. Because
so you didn't think it was going to happen?
Because even him, he doesn't even ready for that time to have another relationship, because he was just gone from his long relationship before.
Right, so he was getting over a relationship
Yeah.
himself. How did you feel about that?
Um, somehow grateful, and the other part is sad because I know they've been for a long time, but they have all their reasons. Yeah. And sometimes things are just there's always a start and end of everything.
Okay, was there something, was there maybe one thing that he said that made you think, maybe this is it?
Yeah, he opened up to me what he feels towards me, and he said that he's having a little bit of fear, what would be my reaction if he's going to open up that feeling towards me, because the cause is that we're long, we're far from each other, and sometimes people would judge the thought that how can you possibly be in love with someone who is so far and you have never met in person?
Well, you have been Skyping.
Yeah, we do.
So you have as close, that's as close as it can be without actually being able to touch you.
Some point.
The Skype is as close as it can be to actually meeting, and that's what most people take as being real. What were your first reactions on that? So when you first saw this man on Skype?
The very first time that I saw him, I was overwhelmed.
Because?
Because I find him very handsome, and I suddenly realized that in overall he is actually a good person inside and outside.
Now I have to reveal that I was the one, yes, I was the one who introduced this friend of mine to May. And I mentioned May because I thought that he was, I didn't know whether he was still in a relationship, and he messaged me back and said that he was free, that the relationship was ended. I sent him a photo of May, and I have to tell you that he was quite overwhelmed. He thought that May was one of the most beautiful girls he'd ever seen, and that was how it started for him. So he was almost in love with you really before you ever spoke to him. And it sounds like you almost felt the same.
Yeah.
So then, once you started to realize your feelings were changing, then what?
Then after that, that's it, he opened up, and after that, I also admit to him what I really felt, what I really felt for him, and we decided to not go things or to not wait things too long. So we decided to, after almost a month, we decided to say yes to him. So, but in August.
So at that point you committed to each other. That did you say that you were not going to see anyone else?
Yep.
And he said the same thing?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
All right, so you're being true to each other. And now I'm taking it, you have in the Philippines what they call an MU, which is a mutual understanding. That's a Filipino thing. They say we have a mutual understanding. That's the point at which people say this could be going somewhere, let's see what happens. Is that true?
Yeah.
So now, you have your mutual understanding, so what do you start planning?
Start planning from the very first. We actually planned he's going to visit here in the Philippines.
So he's going to come and visit. And
He's going to meet my parents and because he doesn't. His intention was not to make my family feel that I will be secure when I come to live with him in Florida.
So he wanted them to have confidence in him.
Yeah.
That he would take care of you. Okay. And then, did you set any dates? Or?
Before he said a date when will he come, but there were those things that made on its way. So but I trust his word.
So in other words, he had some loose ends to tidy away. Right, so settling
some things,
old connections, and making everything so that it was a smooth transition to you. Yes. And then you actually set a date, a hopeful date.
But right now he is not giving any dates at all because he doesn't want to hurt me if I fail giving this date, but he doesn't show up, or even my family expecting that he will come in that date, but he doesn't.
So he only wants to set the date that he knows he can honor.
What?
He's only willing to set a date once he knows that he can definitely honor that date. And is he hopeful that it will be, say, this year?
Probably next year.
Probably not.
Because he's looking for a better job right now for him to be able to save more money for his visitation.
For the trip.
Yeah, for the trip.
Okay, that's great. And how optimistic are you that everything will go right? Are you optimistic?
Yep, I am.
Yes? So you're secure?
Yes.
Good.
Because I was able to know him better as the more we're getting or we constantly communicating with each other. You'll see how genuine is the person when you realize how consistent he is with his words and how he's trying to communicate with you and how he's trying on his part to really work out the relationship even though you're far.
Right. And what would you see the future, say, for 1 year's time? What would your hope for the future be? To say 1 year's time. This time next year.
Next year. Next year, I'm actually hoping that I could finally come in Florida and come to live with him and get married in Florida.
So the best way to go to America, I know, is to go on a fiancé visa.
Yes.
So that would be a fairly short thing, but he needs to come here first.
Yes, of course.
I mean, by law, he needs to come here first. So he would come here first, and then, if everything is as you hope, he would go back and arrange the paperwork.
Yes. That's his plan.
Right. Now, this is a big question for a Filipino.
Right.
How do you feel about being there and you only have one person that loves you and supports you, and that's your husband?
It's quite scary on my part, but when you realize that you love someone, you are actually willing to encounter or face everything to be with the person.
Yeah. And when you go there, he will be working.
Yes.
So you will have to spend alone time in a foreign country.
Yeah, I know that.
Without family around you.
Yes.
And in the Philippines, the biggest difference between the Philippines and any other foreign country in the world is family. Everything is family here. Just on what you've done this morning. This morning, what was your morning like this morning?
What?
Tell me what you did this morning. Tell everybody what you did this morning.
I went to the church with my whole family.
Your whole family?
Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters?
I have one sister and 4 brothers.
And your mother and father, and you live in a little house that's close to the church.
Yes.
So you got up in the middle of that big family and you went to church. And then what did you do at church?
I am actually I am the one who leads songs at church.
So you lead the singing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do a lot of singing in the church? Okay. So you'll have to find somewhere that you can do that in Florida. Yes? And then after that, what will you normally do? We're doing this interview right now, but what would you normally do?
Every day.
On a Sunday?
On
Today, what would you
Sunday.
normally do daily?
We get to spend time at church and chat with my family during afternoon, spend time together, and laugh together. And that's usually the normal thing we do during Sundays.
Right. And does your friend have family that he is close to?
No,
He doesn't.
he's just living.
So it's just going to be him.
Yeah.
And is he of the same faith as you?
Oh, he has a different. He has no faith.
He has no faith. How will you deal with that?
On my part, I know that I've already seen situations like that. Like the life of my aunts also with their husbands. But then I'm willing to adjust, and I'm willing to
Well, you have to find an outlet for your faith
yeah.
when you get there.
Yes. But I always respect his decision.
His beliefs. And as long as he respects yours,
Yeah,
is that how it works?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, well, let me see. How do your parents feel? I mean, they're losing you.
They do have actually some disagreements of my friend.
So they're not totally comfortable with you just leaving to go to America.
Because they have their own plan for me staying here in the Philippines.
I see. So like a lot of parents, they have their plans
Yeah.
for what you should do with your life.
Yeah.
And lovely May has her own plans for what she should do with her life. And you're going to work on your plans.
Yes.
And hope they'll come to respect yours.
I hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so too. So, what's the next step for today? Have you spoken to him?
Haven't yet.
You haven't, but
Yeah.
you'll be speaking to him
Yes.
later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thanks for spending this time with us, May,
Thank you also.
and we wish you very well.
Thank
And I'm
you.
sure that everybody that's watching this video wishes you very well too. Okay, that's all from us. Foreigner living in the Philippines and lovely May, that's it.